Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Good day and welcome to Fusion Mobile e-learning class. My name is Fayomi Kende and I will be taking you English language. Today we are going to be taking a look at spellings with subheadings: commonly misspelled words, British and American spellings, and as well as confusing pairs of words. There is no gainsaying the fact that the student's ability to spell words correctly will earn him more marks in essays or letter writing sections in English language examinations. Unfortunately, spelling is often waved aside by many students, thereby paving way for woeful performances, especially in mechanical accuracy. Students should remember that every wrong spelling is ringed and marks are deducted. Below is a list of some words which are always wrongly spelled by students. Now, when you look to your screen, you are going to find the wrong spellings of the following words that I'll be pronouncing, as well as their correct spellings. We have onomatopoeia, privilege, skillful, kerosene, generosity, maintain, fortnight, vacuum, flabbergasted, argument, illiterate, commitment, surprise, cutlery, camouflage, trekking, catapult, faithful, embarrass, interfere, necessary, etiquette, cassette, gramophone, stubborn, penicillin, messenger, bonanza, amateur, curfew, excursion, forgotten, precede, luggage, continuous, all right, sepulchre, eczema, bureaucracy, secede, consequential, practitioner, dying, interesting, delinquency, derogatory, dormitory, colossal, interpret, livelihood, hierarchy, available, comparison, denouement, effrontery, pursuance, souvenir, convalescent, umbrella, and omission. When you look to your screen once again, you are going to find out that the wrong spelling of these words are highlighted, as well as their correct spellings. Let us take note of these spellings so that we don't make mistakes in our examinations when we ought to use these words. A few questions are now going to pop up on your screen for you to attempt. I advise that you attempt these questions and you answer them correctly. If you find any difficulty in answering these questions, please rewind the video and take a look at it once again. Good luck. Welcome back. Now let us take a look at British and American spellings. British English differs from American English in many respects, among which is spelling. However, the English spoken in Nigeria is patterned after that of Britain by virtue of being Nigeria's colonial masters. That is not to say that American English is non-existent in Nigeria or that is outlawed. Far be it. Nigerians in general and students in particular are at liberty to write or speak any. However, for the purposes of public examinations, students and candidates are strongly advised to be very consistent in their choice. They can write any one of their choice, provided they are consistent. That is, to maintain that very choice all through, and not to use both at the same time. Some areas of differences are listed below. The first kind of difference, or the first difference that we must always take note in the British and American spelling, is that British speakers prefer the use of IES in place of Americans' IZE. British speakers make use of ISE rather than America's IZE in words such as specialize, centralize, analyze, capitalize. The British make use of ISE, unlike the Americans that make use of IZE, which make the words sound differently. The ending syllable, the last syllable of those words are going to sound differently because one is voiceless, the British is voiceless, and the Americans is voiced. Let us take the example once again. We have specialize in British and specialize in American. We have centralize in English, in British, and we have centralize in American. Analyze in British, analyze in American. Capitalize in British and capitalize in American. British speakers use double L in the present continuous and past tense forms of verbs ending in L. Americans prefer a single L. Words like quarreled, cancelling, and trailing. Quarreled, cancelling, and trailing. British use double L when these words are written in their past form and in their continuous form, but the Americans prefer to write those words in the L as singular L, as one L. In inflections and derivatives of words ending in P, not immediately preceded by a single stressed vowel, British English doubles the P, while Americans do not. Example is kidnapper. Kidnapper. The P in the last syllable there is doubled in British, but in American it is a single P. Worshipper. In British the P is doubled, while the P is single in American. We also have trapped. The P again is doubled in British, but singular or single in American. Any word whose pronunciation ends in the sound G as UE added to it. We'll take that again. Any word whose pronunciation ends in the G sound as UE added to it in its spelling in British English. American English is not like that. It also ends in G in the spelling. Example of such words are catalog. Catalog. At the end of the G sound, we have UE added to it in British, but in American, it is just the G. We have pedagogue. In British, UE is added to the last letter, that is the G. In American, it is not. We have decalogue, and demagogue. These words end in UE in the British case, but in American they end in just the G. British English has hour in words such as color. That is, they have OUR in words such as color, while American has it as OR. When we spell words like color, favor, humor, honor, these words end in OUR in the case of the British English, while in American English they end in OR. Color, favor, humor, and honor end in OR in American case, but OUR in the British case. Note words such as glamour and savior. The spelling is the same for both British and American English. As we all know, English language is a very inconsistent language. So in whatever case, in whatever type of spelling we are dealing with, there is always exceptions, such as glamour and savior that we have here. They both end in OUR, and they are written the same way in both British and American spelling. Words that end in RE are spelled as such in British English, while American English has it as ER. Such words include center, meter, theater. These words in British English end in RE, but when you are spelling them in American English, they end in ER. Center, meter, theater, etc. Some words which end in single L are written as such in British English, while American uses double L. Examples of such words are enroll, fulfill, instill, willful, and skillful. These words have single L in the case of the British English, but in the American English they are doubled. The L is doubled. In some words derived from Greek and Latin, American English changes AE to E and OE to E. Examples of such words are hemoglobin, esophagus. The British has the spelling of hemoglobin as AE, esophagus as OE, but the American spelling has hemoglobin as E, that is E, and in esophagus just E. No O in the initial spelling of esophagus in the American spelling. Neither do we have A in the initial sound of hemoglobin in the in the American spelling. Having come to the end of this session, a few questions are going to pop up on your screen for you to attempt. If you find any difficulty in answering these questions, please do not hesitate to go back and review the video once again in order to update yourself. Good luck.